Hello, lovely! In this video, we're gonna give you model answers and vocabulary about happiness, a recent IELTS speaking part 1 topic. I'm Maria.
And my name is Rory, and we're here to help prepare you for IELTS speaking and have a little bit of fun along the way.
Aristotle suggested that happiness is the one human desire, like the only one. And all other human desires, I'm reading, exist as a way to obtain happiness. So you see, the only desire that I have, that Rory has, is happiness. Like to be happy.
Well, that's according to Aristotle, but probably, at least in my opinion, it's not searching for happiness, it's searching for meaning.
Yes, but meaning gives you happiness.
No, those are two different things. Happiness is like the high feeling, but you can't sustain the high feeling all the time. You have to have something that grounds you in reality.
What things made you happy when you were a child?
Oh, well, spending time with my family and friends. We used to make up these ridiculous games and scenarios to act out. I also used to get a kick out of playing on video games consoles as well when I was younger.
Right. How can we paraphrase happy? So I'm happy when I want to be happy, I'll be happy when...
So what? Happy, happiness, elated, elation, I suppose on a high, having a buzz, although that's not quite the same, but it's connected to it.
What about I'm content with my life?
Well, content is sort of the baseline. Happiness is the higher part. Like we were talking about when we talked about the difference between happiness and meaning in terms of how important they are.
Yeah, but I think you can use the words like I'm content with my life, I'm pleased with my life, I'm satisfied with my life. Also, joy, like I derive joy from doing something.
Oh, derive.
We used to make up ridiculous jokes. First of all, we used to make up things, so in the past, not anymore, make up jokes, we imagined them, we created them, make up jokes, games.
Well, you can make up a joke as well.
Ridiculous. Is it positive or negative? Is it funny in a good way or ridiculous? Like you look ridiculous?
Well, here it's funny in a good way. It's like reminiscing about the past. So it's like, oh, it was ridiculous, but it's still fun. So it makes no sense or it's a bit silly, but it's a fun thing to do.
You said that I get a kick out of something.
Yeah, like a kick is a slight high from doing things.
Instead of saying I'm happy when, you can say I get a kick out of swimming. I get a kick out of listening to IELTS Speaking First Class podcast. And games consoles is something like this.
I couldn't say explicitly which games consoles without being paid for advertising. So if any companies are listening, then I will explicitly mention your games console if you decide to pay me for doing it.
Something makes me happy. Okay, so food makes me happy, people make me happy. Or I enjoy, right? So synonyms. I'm content with. Rory is happy when he gets all his work done. Actually, you said all my jobs done. So it's I get all my work done to get something done, right? Or get all my jobs done. So the structure, right? I get it done. When I get things done, I feel really happy.
It's interesting though, because to get something done sometimes means getting someone else to do it for you, but then in the context that I'm talking about, it's you doing the jobs. So you have to be very careful about when you use it. I can get things done means I can do the job, but I get things done also means to have it done for you, like I get my hair done. But also, I got my laundry done the other day. Whoa, grammar. Either way, get it done.
What activities make you feel happy now?
Alcohol. That's all. No. Well, anything that makes me feel successful. So, doing exercise or completing all of my jobs for the day. Seeing my friends. And I also quite like getting nice messages on social media. It's a nice little dopamine hit. Although I wouldn't do it all the time, of course.
Another synonym for you is I like the dopamine hit. Dopamine is this, hormone. So I like the dopamine hit from doing something. Hit, like
the nice feeling you get when you see your notifications.
And Rory told us that I like the dopamine hit from getting the messages on social media, and people usually write, Rory, you're awesome. Rory, you're so handsome. Rory, I love you. Rory!
I actually what happens is the people say I listen to you and Maria, and we like, or rather I like you both. So it's not always about me, but it's nice to be included, I think. No.
I also like the dopamine hit from reading all your lovely messages that you write in the comments telling us what makes you happy. Also, I check the internet, and the whole truth about happiness I get here,
From the internet?
From the internet, yes, like we believe every word.
Well, like Abraham Lincoln said, don't believe everything you read on the internet.
No, we believe every word. And according to some kind of a website online, what makes people happy? So usually health and well-being. You can also mention like, my well-being. So it's kind of like my happiness, my life, my well-being. Physical or mental, right? Physical or mental. Family, having a sense of purpose, right? Living conditions, feeling safe and feeling in control. Also, being in nature makes people happy. Having a meaningful job, and the last point is having more money. Yeah, so you can mention some of these or all of these things, dear listener. Rory didn't mention, I think, anything.
I did not. But then, of course, things like family and physical well-being, maybe physical well-being is quite a high-level phrase, but family and purpose, they're all about intermediate level, to be honest with you. So if you're aiming for a higher band, then you'd probably want to go with the vocabulary I was using.
What kinds of people make you happy?
Well, I get a lot of enjoyment out of being with people that I'm on the same wavelength as. The kind of people that you can just be yourself around. So in my case, that's, cracking dark jokes and having fun with my friends. That gets the endorphins going.
Another synonym is I get a lot of enjoyment out of something or doing something, right? Or you can say like I derive pleasure from something, or I get a lot of enjoyment out of people who right? And you've used an idiom, Rory, a really nice idiom about waves, and I got a joke about waves as well.
Oh, wait, okay.
No, tell us about the idiom. Idiom time, idiom!
To be on the same wavelength. That's just when you feel the sense of connection to people and you have things in common. Like you and I are on the same wavelength when it comes to the podcast. Most of the time. Not about your jokes, sorry. But we're going to hear them anyway, right?
What's the problem with my jokes?
We don't have enough time in the day. Tell the joke.
To think in a similar way to understand each other, right? So I get a lot of enjoyment from people who I'm on the same wavelength.
As.
Why did you use as?
Because it's a comparison. I suppose that's the difference between the two. Like, I'm on the same wavelength as someone else. It's like saying I'm the same as someone. In the same way, I'm on the same wavelength with somebody. That's about the feeling of being together. But that's like a distinction that only something like language professors would have a discussion about.
Also, we can say that I'm on the same wavelength about this point, right? My friends and I are on the same wavelength about this. When during the day do you feel happiest?
Yeah, in the mornings when I've done my workout and all my little chores for the day, I just feel ready to go, especially after a good night's rest.
So mornings are the happiest time in Rory's life after I've done my workout. So present perfect after I've had my coffee, after I've done my workout, or after I've listened to IELTS Speaking for Success podcast.
Or all of them at the same time. Well, maybe not coffee and workout at the same time. Chores are little jobs that you have to do around your house to make it function.
And we usually say that I do the chores. So doing the chores.
Oh, yes, that's a good point. You do your chores, you don't make chores. Well, you can make chores, but it's like make chores for yourself. So you don't really want to do that because it's like saying you give yourself more work to do than you need to.
Does food make you happy?
Well, if it's nice food that I like, then yes. I doubt I'd be very happy if I were ordering bananas and raisins all the time. And I suppose I like ordering McDonald's and other kinds of fast food from time to time. Again, not all the time. But I think I feel my happiest when I have really healthy food, because you feel the energy coming, and you know that you're fueling your body with the right stuff for the day. So that's probably a more sustainable kind of happiness in my case.
You're fueling your body with some healthy stuff. So to fuel your body with something, to add fuel to your body, like petrol you add to cars. So you're fueling your body with the right stuff, not McDonald's and pizza. These are Rory's guilty pleasures. So you can say like, oh, McDonald's is my guilty pleasure.
I have pizza sitting in my refrigerator right now waiting for me, and I'm really looking forward to it.
What do you do to stay happy?
Well, I read a lot and I exercise regularly, and I have a job and friends that I love. I couldn't ask for anything more, really. It's like my own personal nirvana right now.
Rory's personal nirvana. I love this expression. Like, it's like my own personal nirvana.
The only reason it came up for me was because we're studying Buddhism right now. And I think that people get a little bit confused about what nirvana actually is. So, to cut a long story short, nirvana in Buddhism is like a feeling of, it's like where you go when you let go of all personal attachments, and it's not like heaven, because in heaven you see the things that you're attached to. But it's a good thing to reach towards. Whereas in the common understanding of nirvana, it's like a place where you are calm and at peace and happy. And obviously, those are two very different things. So if you're a Buddhist, then I'm using the more commonly used one, not the religious one.
So, dear listener, it's a nice word to use. So, doing something is my own personal nirvana. Rory, are you a hedonist?
But I like doing the things I like to do. I'm not really sure that means the same thing. If you're a hedonist, that's like when you put having fun and a good time ahead of everything else in life. And I don't do that all the time. I don't think anybody could. They would probably die.
Hedonic happiness is happiness derived from pleasure. So a hedonist is a person who does things just to get as much pleasure as they possibly can. What would make you happy in the future?
I have no idea, actually. I think it was William Shakespeare that said the future is like the great undiscovered country, so that's why I don't really have a clue. If I'm pushed, then I like to think it will be continued success and, well, opportunities to be around the people that I like and do the things I love. That should do the trick quite nicely.
Here Rory got poetic. It was Shakespeare that said undiscovered countries.
Well, the future is the undiscovered country, at least in my understanding of it. So it's sort of like when someone asks you a question about a country that you don't know about, you're just like, I have no idea. I don't know what's going to make me happy in the future. Probably the same things as now.
Future is an undiscovered country. Okay, dear listener? So when the examiner asks you anything about the future, you go, Shakespeare once said that future is an undiscovered country.
Well, I don't know if you could say that. That's a bit contrived, but at least in my case, it's true, because it's just another way of saying, I have no idea. You can't see into the future. And then you launch into, my guess would be the same things as now, but who knows?
Being with the people I love will do the trick.
Yay, do the trick.
So it will keep me happy. It will keep doing the trick. So we refer to my happiness.
Yeah, if something does the trick, it does the job that it's supposed to do.
Yeah. Or McDonald's will do the trick.
In a pinch.
McDonald's, you can feel free and sponsor our podcast. Just get in touch, write in the comments, and we'll get back to you, okay? I'm loving it. When do you feel happy at work?
I think when I get into that flow state where everything's coming together and you sort of time or the feeling or experience of time falls away and you're really into what you're doing and all the people around you are doing the same thing as well. I also quite like being in a workspace where I feel connected to the people I'm with and we have a shared sense of humor. It almost feels like home in that sense. So I get a lot of happiness out of that.
Rory gets into that flow state. Can you imagine, like our Rory, he gets into the flow, like he's kind of like all this universe and energy. He feels the flow.
So the flow state is like the balance between what you can do and like how difficult something is. So if you're like really into something, then it doesn't really matter how difficult it is because you're like so involved. You don't pay attention to being bored or anxious about it. You just keep focused on that one thing. And it's really good. I love it when that happens. It almost never does these days. But once you discover how to do it, then you just keep those conditions or try to keep those conditions.
Do you feel happy when you buy new things?
Everybody likes a little bit of retail therapy, don't they? Although, admittedly, in my case, and probably the case of many other people, it's like a temporary high. But it's still nice when you buy things that you've wanted for a long time with money that you've worked hard to get. I think you get at least satisfaction out of it, if not a little bit of elation.
A bit of retail therapy. So when you talk about shopping, buying something new, it's retail therapy. Retail when you buy things, right?
Well, when you buy things in order to feel better about yourself, yes.
But retail therapy is only a temporary high.
Yes. Or a temporary fix.
It's a quick fix, like bam, and you're happy, and then you're going, and you're sad again. So when you go shopping, you buy something, it's like, it's a temporary high. Maybe like for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, maybe, I don't know, half a day. Depends on the purchase. Yeah, but it's like a temporary fix. It's a quick fix. It's a temporary high. You're high for a short period of time. Don't stop me now.
I hate to stop you now, but it's time to stop the episode. Thank you for listening.
Yeah, we did have a ball recording this episode. Please make comments about what makes you happy, what would make you happy in the future.
Or any suggestions about things we could do to make ourselves happy. That's nice. It's nice to get suggestions.
What can Rory do to make himself happy?
Happier. I'm quite happy with my life right now.
Oh, bye.
Bye.